Hello there everyone, welcome back to Press for Truth TV. Thanks for tuning in once again. Today I wanted to share with you a little bit of my film collection, some of the documentaries that I've collected over the years during my journey down the rabbit hole, I guess we could say, in regards to my research into the New World Order. Probably from the years, I'd say 1998 to around 2005 or so. I read so many books and watched so many documentary films while I was doing a lot of research, and at that time I used to collect hard copies of these books and films, and I collected them all. So today I just wanted to share with you a little bit of some of the films that I collected during those years, and maybe it'll give you some ideas of some other areas of research that you might want to look into in your research into the New World Order. So I've laid out a few of them here. And I'll start with when I first began watching a lot of films on this topic, one of my main sources in the early days was Alex Jones. Alex Jones films are some of the first ones that I began getting into. And here, first one we have is Total Enslavement. This one is pretty good. Alex released it in 2000. And it's really interesting to go back and look at these old films that he did way back in the day, and you can really see how he's progressed over the years and gotten better and better at filmmaking. But this is one of the early ones that woke a lot of people up back in the early days. Really good. We also have 9/11: The Road to Tyranny. This one came out in 2002. And was the first thing I ever saw in regards to any kind of exposing, some of the things that happened on 9/11. This came out well before Loose Change or any of those other kind of films on 9/11. So this, he was a pioneer with this kind of film right here, and this one woke a lot of people up. Really good as well. Okay, what else? We have Martial Law. 9/11, The Rise of the Police State. This one is pretty good. Alex goes down to ground zero. He points out a lot of really good stuff in this one, and how some of the results of the attacks of 9/11 he's seeing on American soil, with troops on the streets and more of a police state rising. So a really good one there. We have American Dictators. This one's really good. It really boils down the false left-right paradigm and shows you how, for example, in the States, Republicans versus Democrats, the whole, they're two wings of the same bird. It's like a giant wrestling match. It's more choreographed than a ballet. And this points out how in the election of 2004, between Bush and Kerry, these two guys are both members of Skull and Bones, the secret society out of Yale University. So, of all the people who could be running against each other for president of the United States, we have two guys who went to the same university and were indoctrinated into the same secret society, both running against each other for president of the United States. So this one really breaks down the false left-right paradigm, and I think it's excellent. Okay, we have Terror Storm. Now, this, I think, is one of the best films out there. It's really important to understand the information contained in this film. It's one of the best documentaries there is, not so much because of its production value, but because of the information that is contained in here. It really does a great job at breaking down the history of false flag events and how governments and intelligence agencies are often behind false flag black ops in order to manipulate the masses. This one is absolutely key information to understanding how the global elite gain more control and more power. So I would strongly recommend this one here. Okay, next we have Endgame. This one is a really good one. Alex breaks down a lot of stuff in this one. not only the Bilderberg group. What I like about this one so much is his explaining what the eugenics movement is, and showing how these top-level eugenicists are just working on their depopulation program and trying to kill people, basically. So this one is fantastic. I am in this one as well, which was cool. Alex Jones interviewed me for this film back in 2006 in Ottawa, and when it came out, I was definitely happy and pleased and surprised to see that I got included in the film. I did like a 10-minute interview with him out in Ottawa, and when it came out, it was like, hey, look at that. A bunch of people are contacting me saying, hey, I just saw you in an Alex Jones film. So anyways, that was cool. So that's that one. And then, of course, we have the Obama Deception, which really breaks down how Obama's just a puppet, and he's no different from Bush or any of the others before him, for that matter. Again, breaking down the false left-right paradigm, Republican versus Democrat. It's all the same thing. These guys are just puppets of the global elite, so that one's really good at explaining that. So that's some of the Alex Jones films that I watched back in the early years. Okay, what else? America's Freedom to Fascism. This one is good. It gets into the idea that income tax is based off of a false law, that there was some trickery that went on there, and this is all down in the States, of course, in regards to the IRS taking people's tax money, and this film would suggest that you don't necessarily have to pay income tax. So very, very, very interesting, and definitely worth a watch. The Lightbringers, the Missionaries of Yabulan. This one is all about Freemasonry, and in particular, Freemasonry's influence in England on their prime ministers and their police force, and this really gets into the kind of dark, sinister sides of Freemasonry, so it's definitely worth a watch. We have the Fluoride Deception. Well, that pretty much speaks for itself. This gets into the dangers of ingesting fluoride from a medical perspective, and it points out how it's toxic and not good for us at all. Yet it's in all of our public water supply, which is starting to. A lot of cities are starting to wake up to this fact that fluoride is bad because of films like this, and they're starting to get the fluoride out of the water, which is awesome. So this is a good one to explain some of the stuff that's going on there. We have Money is Debt. This one is really good. Just jam-packed with info. It's short doc. It's only 45 minutes long. It's animated in like a cartoon kind of style. So it's easy to watch and just really, really good info. It really breaks down the history of goldsmiths and banking and how fractional reserve lending came to be a long, long time ago, and how it enslaves us right up to this day. So I strongly recommend Money is Debt. This one is really good. We have The Corporation. This one's pretty good. It's very well known. Points out how, if you were to analyze a corporation in the same way that doctors would analyze somebody to find out if they're a psychopath or not, corporations would indeed be looked at as psychopathic. So yeah, this one's definitely good. It's worth a watch. Okay. The Illuminati, the Antichrist Conspiracy. This one's okay. It's from the Enigma channel. It's just okay. I wouldn't strongly recommend it, but there's definitely some good info in here. Alex Jones is in it, David Icke, Anthony Hilder, and many others. Again, it's just kind of not bad, but it's worth a watch. Chemtrails, that's an old one I have on chemtrails. Secret Rulers of the World, Bilderberg Group. This one is pretty good. It's from, I can't remember his name right now, English guy, British documentary filmmaker. He's made a lot of really good films, and that's a good one on his expose of the Bilderberg Group. Okay, we have Eye of the Phoenix. This is part 3 of a series. Part 1 and 2 were Secret History of America's Beginnings, which were really good. But I gotta tell you, I was a little bit disappointed with Eye of the Phoenix. The trailer for it is fantastic. But the documentary is not really much like the trailer. It's a little misleading. This one was a little bit dry, a little bit dull. I was a little disappointed in it. But it's okay. It's still worth a watch. Okay, this one, Aquarius, The Age of Evil. This one is fantastic. This is by Keith Thompson, and it gets into the New Age movement. You can see there people like Alice Bailey, Helena Blavatsky, the Maitreya, Benjamin Creme. Really interesting info contained in this documentary. I think this is a must-see for anybody who wants to understand the New World Order, and especially the New Age movement, because it all plays a very big role into the big picture. So strongly recommend this one, Aquarius, The Age of Evil. Most of these films that I'm talking about today are available online. You can probably look them up on YouTube and find them if you want to watch them. So that one I'd strongly recommend. Here's another one I'd strongly recommend, the Megiddo series. Alright, this is part 2. This is part 1. Megiddo, this part 2 gets into the New Age as well. And again, breaks down Helena Blavatsky and how she inspired Hitler. She, of course, wrote The Secret Doctrine. She's a Russian mystic, and many prominent occultists learned from her works and from her books. Hitler apparently used to sleep with a copy of her book, The Secret Doctrine, at his night bedside. So this one's really good at breaking down what the New Age